It is 5 o'clock, July 29th. Quitting time. Well, pretty much. I'm self-employed, so there's no end to the work. It always happens. But starting off today with Vegas Jackpot. Gonna take a quick walk. I don't know, I'm gonna show you everything, but it's end of the day and things are still looking pretty nice because it's a little bit cooler. Still pretty hot. I was sweating buckets this morning, but here's a quick walk. So Vegas Jackpot looking great today. And here we go. Dragon Ship. And in the morning it's much darker. Now it's nice and maroon. Space Coast Tiger Tail Tango. Space Coast Tiger Tail Tango. Couple blooms on Something in My Teeth back here. Something in My Teeth. It is still hands down up here in Duluth the best toothy we've got. Always looking good. And yeah, I throw its pollen all over the place. Van Helsing, not a lot of teeth today. In the shadows, Space Coast Freaky Tiki has done great up here. Here's a couple more blooms on Vegas Jackpot. Again, it took a while for Vegas Jackpot to get settled in, but once it did, it has done great. So be patient on this one. It is worth it. Look at that edge. Get in there really close. Probably one of my favorites of the Marriotts. A lot of the Marriotts seem to be slow to get established up here, but most of them have all, in the end, worked out. There's Deep Impact, the diploid, and tomorrow we'll get the tetraploid. Here's the other scape on pufferfish. This one did not fall over, and it's looking great. So pufferfish, a whole lot of in the shadows today on that. And Dragon Fang. Its days might be numbered here. It has not quite lived up to my hopes. It's one of the first toothies that I put in the ground. But it's nice. It's just not really what I was hoping for. What else? Well, that's it. So let's come. Oh, how did I miss this? I stole all the pollen. Thank God. And I was on Daylily.com and I noticed Rich has a Thank God cross with, I think, the downward spiral, and it's 5 seeds are like $57 right now. So I hope you guys are still willing to spend that kind of money when my seeds are coming in like December, January. But no, I think I threw this on. I used every single stamen, every single anther today. It went everywhere. I did not save any of that pollen. Let's come over here. I started with this one yesterday, and look at this. Edie seedling just keeps getting better. I kind of feel like she should introduce this. Look at this. It's gorgeous. Absolute stunner. I love it. I love it. So this one will look better. Classic example of the first flower. This is Royal Candy Crush. Just wait. It'll look better. The Triple with Blue. Always looking good. One of my favorites. Always worthwhile. Hard to set a pot on, although I think this year it's been working a little better. So drought, big surprise. 3 years of drought, 3 years of bad pod set. Okay, I'll take it. But definitely wonderful, wonderful patterned eye, dormant foliage, excellent plant, very vigorous, very, very vigorous up here. I highly recommend it. So now I'm going to sprint around to the front. So let's go. Oh, no. I had to show you this again. Bee buzzes. Polly today. Bee buzzes. All right. Running, running, running. Here we go, more stolen pollen on Quasar Cutie. I need to find a spot in the ground for this one. But there it is, Quasar Cutie. And there is the seedling that got the number 25.13 for now from the U-Dig sale at Northern Lights Daylilies. And there's another look at it. I think that's it for the year on that one. No more buds, or maybe one. But I saved what I could. threw a couple pollinations on it that I'll tag up tonight, and that's that. So, there's Chiara again. And I'm looking around to go, where am I going next? Right back up here. And keep in mind, it is 5 o'clock. Look at all those teeth. And again, I said it yesterday, well, the last time I shot a video, but if this is what Mike Grossman is leaving in the field, this is 25-2 for now, but if this is what he's leaving in the field, what is he saying I'm going to keep? Look at that. That pollen went a lot of places today. I was like, that is too good not to use. So there's more, but let's come down here for a second. First bloom on White Eyes Purple Dragon. Not quite perfect, but I've said it, and I'll say it again. First blooms up here usually aren't quite perfect. But it did throw pollen on that. That pollen is not supposed to work, so I didn't even bother trying. But what the heck. We'll see if we get a pot or two on it. All right. Yeah. It is awesome. All right. Coming back around here. Let's look at this one first. A couple more blooms on this one. This one's got the number 25-9 for now. That's another one of the Northern Lights You Dig sale seedlings. Now, this one's interesting to me today. I don't know if this one was in the pictures the other day. I think this is 25-5. Or did I? Yes. 25-5. So until it gets a home, I think they're all going in the hill. But I'm starting to wonder if I got two very similar siblings, or if these are the same. We'll see. I might have dug two plants. I looked, and they were together in the field. They all came out as one, but I'm starting to think maybe I got two. I gave Mike more than I really should have. I told him to keep the change. That's how I felt about the opportunity. Maybe these are not the same. We'll see. But look at that. So right now I'm calling these both 25-5. Are they the same? Let me know in the comments. I know everyone says that, but yeah. I mean, but again, there's my hand. My hand, well here, that is from tip to thumb, that's 7. So this is 8 plus. That pollen went certain places today too, because how could I not? I'll come over here to this one. Again, this one has the number 25-4 for now. So, yeah, I was talking with a friend and he said, well, you know, how was this event? And I said, you know, it was always a bucket list for me. Absolutely ridiculous. The generosity. I have the name, the Flower of Generosity reserved, and I'm going to just step back so you can see, you know, this is what we were digging. Those are full-on clumps of seedlings, one of a kind. And I know what I've paid for seedlings that people aren't going to register. So I reserved the Flower of Generosity a long time ago, and I'm going to use that name for something. And this is why. You know, they call hostas the friendship plant. And early on, I was like, wow, people in the daylily world are ridiculously generous sometimes. And I'm can't always do it, but sometimes when the opportunity presents itself, I try to be generous too. So this is a prime example. I mean, those are just ridiculous. All right, so we're gonna boogie now. One last look at those, because whether those are two plants or just two slightly different blooms on the same plant is a question that won't be resolved today. They are both awesome. Oh, jeez. I can just look at those all day. All right, let's go. And we'll come over here today because I want you to see this. This is the first flower open today on Purple Power Lady, and all day it was like black. It was amazing. All right, so Purple Power Lady. Tiny morsel had 6 blooms open today, and I guarantee you, I put thank God on every one of those because that's going to be unique. Here's Worthy of Distinction. Seems to like to make short escapes for me, but it has great, great teeth. So Worthy of Distinction. And Speckles, you get out of there. So you're not in the shade. That's a tough one. But Speckles is one of my favorites. It is a consummate performer. Always looks great and so vigorous. So that is Speckles. All right, and Pinewood Green Flash again, right back there. Pinewood Green Flash. And I think I can just show you G. Willikers. At the end of the day, it's neat. It kind of like almost turns white. So there's G. Willikers today. And I'm going to come around here. There's my CF Hyperion. Again, if someone knows what it is, let me know. And looking better today because it's not boiling. That is Katrina's Grant a Little Bigger Wish. Not registered, doesn't have that name officially. All right, let's swing around here because Fang and Claw went wild today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fang and Claw. Check that out. Fang and Claw. And then this one's got a name. We haven't made it official yet. And this is the wildest bloom I've seen on this yet. It's not huge. So there's my 7-inch ruler built in. So this is like a 5-inch. This we call MKB 535. And most of the time, this is some next level crustacean. I've not seen this much before. That is crazy. Definitely toothy. This is one my son picked out. And when we picked it out, it was not crustate. But look at that. That is bonkers. So I've sold seeds of it that involve it. And this just blew me away to this morning to see how much is going on here. You know, I don't mind. This bloom's done. So I'll just pull that out so you can see it and see what's going on there. There's plenty more where this came from. So here, let's dissect a flower here. So yeah, look at that. That is what's actually on that petal. So I kind of peeled that petal apart, but all of that extra tissue is sitting there on that. Let's see if I can, oh here, now I got a whole petal, even better. So let's pop that off. There we go. So, look at that. It is really, really quite something. So, not the biggest flower by any stretch, but really unique and not what we expected when we selected it. So, MKB 535. All right. I'll just stop here for a second on sun power. Check out that hosta. Yes, because we do love sun. We do love hostas too. Oh, and there's another fun hosta. Rosedale Misty Pathways. Rosedale Misty Pathways. All right. There's Martha Chamberlain. And Bauman Seedling, 1310. Look at those today. Look at those arrows. If you look at the last video, it's totally different today. So that's Bauman Seedling 1310. It's a sibling to Constant Stranger. And here is Cherry Bliss again today. Cherry Bliss. And Bonnebrae Stairway to Heaven. All right. And here's Adina Ida's Gem. And I believe that they say it's not pod fertile, but I've gotten it to set a pod or two, so I always pollinate it just on the odd chance that it works. This one's getting registered this year because I want to honor a couple special people. So this one, we know it as Duluth 21-4A, and this is actually the first seedling I ever bloomed from seed. It bloomed in the basement. It was 5 months old. So I'm going to have to measure it again today. And so this is, one of those cases where you think it's going to die because it bloomed so young, but it didn't. And it kind of babied it a little bit. It sat out here and it didn't do anything for, I think, 3 years. And last year it just had 4 blooms. And obviously I took all the pollen today. I actually didn't use it. I froze it. But So I had 4 blooms last year, and this year we got 1, 2, 3. So we got a little better branching, and we got, I think, 10 buds is what I counted. So it's going to get named maybe a little bit prematurely, but I'm okay with that because of the people that I want to honor with the naming of it. So watch for a name coming soon. And yeah, so let's come around here. Here's the other something in my teeth. I love that plant. It is great. All right, what else? Wayfaring Stranger today. Wayfaring Stranger. And I'm going to try to be quick here because it is 5 o'clock and I got things to do. Forbidden territory again. Step back. Look at that. Red squirrel. It is just going off. It is crazy. And Graces of Ganymede there, looking great. I thought this was kind of unique for a diploid. And pink stripes right there. Huckleberry candy again. Blueberry breakfast. And first flowers on Siloam Baby Talk. Right down there. Oh, and I'm going to come over here. Kind of skipped over it, but Angel Tracker. Another dyed to care plant. Angel Tracker. And I think maybe I'll end it there today. I could keep going, but we got a lot to do. So we'll end on Angel Tracker for today. And we'll do it all again another time.